we are going to talk about physicochemical properties of drug molecules. This topic is related to physical pharmaceutics 1 of second year B Pharmacy semester 3. So before starting the presentation, I would like to tell the disclaimer that this presentation is made for education purpose only and not meant for any commercial interest. The information provided in the presentation by the presenter is taken from his own personal experiences and understanding and from the references quoted in the end of this presentation. So what will be the learning outcome for the students? After watching this video, the student will understand the optical rotation and its importance in the pharma field. So the topic in physicochemical properties of drug molecules include mainly optical rotation, refractive index, dielectric constant, dipole moment, and dissociation constant as per PCI syllabus, their determination and applications. So let us move in the topic. What is optical rotation? The term polarimeter may be referred to study the rotation of polarized light by transparent optically active substances. The optically active substance means a carbon which contains asymmetric carbon atom which contains different functional group. So this carbon is called asymmetric carbon atom. So many substances possesses the inherent property to rotate the plane of plane polarized light. This is called the optical activity, and polarimeter is the important instrument which is used to determine this rotation. So optical rotation is majorly it is an angle which the plane of polarized is rotated when the polarized light is passes through a layer of one or more liquid. So polarimeter is one of the instrumental method employed in the analysis. This measures the rotation of polarized light as it passes through optically active compound. So ordinary light is showing the radiation to us all the possible direction. So using the polarizer, this direction will be converted to a single plane polarized light which can be rotated in either towards the clockwise side or anti-clockwise side, or anti-clockwise side, by using the concept. A substance is said to be optically active if it rotates the plane of polarized light. So what is plane polarized light? According to the wave theory, of light, an ordinary light is considered as vibrating in all possible direction. If this ordinary light is passed through the Nicol prism, the emergent ray has its vibration only in one plane. This light having the wave motion in one plane is known as plane polarized light. So nickel prism, either made up of Iceland spar, calcite, polaroid, can be used in the polarimeters. So here in the diagram it has been shown that this is an ordinary light. If you could add a Nicol prism, this light will be converted to plane polarized light. So this is your direction of plane ordinary light. In case of polarizer, it will be converted to single direction. Let us assume that this is converted to vertical direction. So specific rotation. So in plane, using polarimeter you can determine the angle which can be converted to a value called specific rotation. So it is a number of degrees of rotation of plane polarized light produced by 1 gram of substance per ml. So formula, it can be given by the alpha symbol, okay, and can be used by the formula alpha d to t is equal to 100 into theta. It is in radians, length of your tube into concentration of substance being analyzed. The instrument is carried out at temperature using sodium vapor lamp. Now, what is the principle involved in the optical rotation measurement? The instrument measures the rotation of polarized light as it passes through optically active substances and the tendency of molecule to rotate the plane of plane polarized light towards the clockwise direction or towards the anti-clockwise direction, whose extent of rotation can be measured by using the polarimeter. So these compounds are called optically active compound or substances. So polarimeter is mainly used for the optical rotation. So here the example is given the lactic acid. Okay, so this lactic acid is shown plus sign, and here the lactic acid has shown the minus sign. So either by using this use instrument, okay, you can determine whether compound is dextro-rotatory or levo-rotatory. So what is dextro-rotatory or right-handed compound? The substances which rotates plane of polarized light towards the clockwise side, clockwise direction is called dextro-rotatory or right-handed. The levo-rotatory compound or left-handed compound, in which the compound rotates to anti-clockwise direction. So the plane polarized light is rotated towards the anti-clockwise direction. So thereby you can say it as a levo-rotatory or left-handed compounds. So what is the instrument? Okay. So optical activity can be detected by using the instrument called polarimeter. The polarimeter mainly consists of 5 parts. First part is the light source. This light source is generally sodium vapor lamp. Second is the polarizer. Okay, it is made up of quartz prism. The third component is the analyzer. Fourth is the sample tube, and last is the detector. The sample tubes could be small tubes or large tubes. Small tubes are 10 centimeter long, while the long tubes are 30 centimeters long. So this is general diagram, instrumentation diagram. So here you can see the all the 5 parts. First is the light source. This light source is made up of sodium vapor lamp. Okay, it is showing the light source in all possible direction. By using the polarizer, this light is arranged to plane polarized light. The sample tube. This is a sample tube, and next is the analyzer. Okay, it contains of a dial reading. So while measuring any liquid sample, okay, optical activity of any liquid sample, the liquid sample is filled in the glass tube. Um, if it is a solid compound, you need to convert that solid compound into a suitable concentration and then fill into the glass tube. The care should be taken so that there should not, while screwing the caps, that no air bubble should entrap. If air bubble is entrapped, it should be trapped at the center of tube. At the center of tube. So complete filling of sample tube is essential to avoid the any kind of stranded results. It is better to use the long sample tube to get the maximum difference in the optical rotation between the two samples. The light source is usually sodium vapor lamp. On introducing an optically active compound between the polarizing element, it is necessary to rebalance by turning the analyzer. This is a circular analyzer scale. It should be balanced in a position. The extent to which scale is rotated is a measure of sample's activity. This is normally obtained by the difference between the readings obtained with or without sample. So this is a lab scale instrument, okay, where you can see the source of light, mainly sodium vapor lamp. This is a nickel prism. Here inside this is the sample tube. This is your dial reading, and by using visual observation, okay, you can adjust the reading. This is a industrial scale apparatus where it can be shown the functioning of the sample. So what are the applications of polarimeter or optical rotation in pharmacy field? So mainly it is used for the quantitative purpose as well as qualitative purpose. The sugar industry is the major industry where polarimeter is used for identification purpose. So polarimeter optical rotation property can be used for determining the optically active compound. In chemical industry, it is a unique property as like your refractive index. So as I told you that okay, a major application is food industry, beverages industry and pharmaceutical industry. So in pharmaceutical industry, the samples can be used to determine the steroids, diuretic, antibiotics, narcotics, vitamins, analgesic, amino acids, essential polymers. The sugar industry is the major industry where this polarimeter can be used. Polarimeters are used in the sugar industry to determine quality of both juice from the sugar cane and refined sugars. So in sugar industry, if polarimeters are used, these are called as saccharimeters. So the saccharimeter is nothing; these are modified polarimeters. If polarimeter is used in polymer industry to determine thin films and surfaces, it is commonly known as ipsometry. Polarimeter is used in remote sensing applications such as planetary science and weather radars. Polarimeter can also be used in various optical properties material, including linear birefringence. Birefringence means the compound is having the both properties of solids as well as liquids. So mainly optical activity. Okay, this many substances possesses the inherent property to rotate the plane of incident polarized light. This is the activity. So your optical rotation is the angle at which plane of polarization rotated when the polarized light passes through layer of one liquid. So it will show the either dextrorotatory or levorotatory depending whether plane of polarized light is rotated to clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction. So application is mainly in identification of optically active compound in sugar industry, chemical industry. Chemical means in API industry, majorly the API industry, food and beverages industry, food beverages industries. So polarimeter can also be used in remote sensing application. Thank you.